I'm Shaun Carlyon from the Let's Talk Shit Show. We're live at the White Convention for 2026. Today on the show, I'm super honored to have these guests. We got James. Josh.
The other Josh and Chad.
Chad and Kyle. Yeah, from Epic Septic down in Texas, correct?
That's right, Austin, Texas.
Yeah, Austin, Texas. And they brought me a wonderful drink.
It's one of a kind. You're actually the first person to have
wow.
it. There you go, rolling it out live on the Let's Talk Shit Show.
Yeah, and we just met yesterday, and I was really intrigued by what you guys are doing, and the stories that you were telling me, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show today, just to let everybody know what you guys are up to.
Yeah, no, and Shaun, thanks for having us on the show, and likewise, I think what you've built up there in Canada, hearing your story yesterday is super impressive. And I think we're all in the same wavelength. We want to raise the standard of this industry.
Yep.
There's so many talented people in this industry. It's super fragmented, right? And if you take the bull by the horns and you do things the right way, you can create a successful business for yourself. But doing it the right way is the one thing that we all need to keep ourselves accountable to. And it seems like you're doing that the right way in Canada. So we're trying to do that here in Texas.
Well, and listening to you guys yourself speak yesterday, and all these people I've been meeting here in the last 48 hours, there's just so much room for more improvement. And I'm listening because I don't know it all. I don't profess to know it all, but I know I want to do better. And I want this industry as a whole to do better. There's a lot of room for improvement.
There's a ton of room for improvement, and we're rookies in this game compared to everybody else here. There's been people here at the show that have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
To your point, like you have a business that have the same phone number for 70 years.
Yeah.
Right? And that's super impressive. But during those 70 years, the business has the ebbs and flows of changes.
Absolutely.
And you have to adapt to those changes. So, and we're the new kids on the block, but we're coming out of the gate swinging, and we're trying to do something really incredible for this industry to attract people from that wouldn't even think septic to become a profession, coming from maybe software or white collar or tech or something like that.
Yep.
That's maybe going to get displaced by AI. But to show them that septic is a place where you can land on your feet and have a really successful career.
Absolutely.
And that's essentially what we're trying to build here at Epic Septic.
And we can both, I'm sure we can all agree that the shit ain't going nowhere. Like,
it's not.
Everybody gets up in the morning, they do their business, right? And it's a recession proof.
Yep.
Like, people, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. And I was listening to a lady that I met yesterday. They're like a founder where they're trying to get toilets for places in other countries. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, we're trying to get toilets to people, right? And I learned another thing about cancer patients. Did you know that people with cancer, that their septic systems?
We have a lot of recurring business from.
I didn't know that.
It erodes the tanks, the chemical.
I had no idea. I just found that out.
It's a big deal.
That's
Rehab
wild.
centers is another one where we have to pump it out. How is it monthly? I think that we pump it out.
Depends on the client. Some monthly, some bi-weekly.
Yeah.
But also,
the drain feels dead.
those the reason why septic's such an important industry too. This is a good segue. People think, like, if you're outside the industry looking in, people think, oh, those guys just pump poop. Those are the poop pumpers.
Yeah.
This business is infrastructure. This business is health and wellness. This business is water cleanliness. So to your point with the rehabilitation centers with drugs or cancer patients, if that water isn't getting cleaned via septic or other means, those medications get into our drinking water.
Yeah.
And the bacteria has become immune to those medications.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a very close colleague of ours who's a big educator in the space, and he was educating that for us. It was a huge eye opener. It's like, wow, like the bacteria in the septic tanks can become immune to the medications that you're flushing down the toilet.
Yep.
And it's crazy to think about.
And again, I didn't realize it.
Yep.
I found it in 2026. Well, it's amazing. And then, again, that's what I love about this event. There's so many well-rounded people, so much experience, and people don't mind sharing that.
Yep.
They don't mind sharing it, and that's it. And education is a huge thing, because I'm sure you guys can also agree, a lot of people have no clue what happens when they flush something down the toilet. They have no idea what that
Flush and forget.
That's it.
Flush and forget's if you're a consumer or a homeowner and you have a septic system, it's like, flush it, yeah, it's going to work. And then the only time you ever call us is what? When you see the brown water and the toilet's backing up.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us in business, but how do we get ahead of that? How do we educate the customers the right way? How do we do more proactive maintenance than reactive maintenance?
Absolutely.
But the proactive approach isn't always the best economically for businesses, right? But we want to take a different approach. We want to educate the homeowners, tell them what right looks like, which, to your point, education, that generational knowledge gap from, say, Uncle Joe's Septic in 1980 or 1970, that knowledge is not transferring to the next generation at the rate it should be.
Yeah.
So that's a huge emphasis for us in Epic Septic, is creating an educational platform for people that may have no septic experience whatsoever to have a baseline to go out and make a living for themselves.
The one thing that we're looking for on the education side is really great advisors and mentors and people to affiliate with. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Josh, because we come at from the liquid waste side, and he's been 2 decades in the solid waste side. And there's
one waste to the next.
One waste. But it was not a waste of time. It was a very successful investment of time. But what have you seen, I guess, when you've gotten into this? There's a lot we've learned from you operationally, but how much commonality do you see in the industry?
And Josh, don't hold back. You should tell people about yourself. Give them a little bit about your background.
Go for it.
I would say the first thing I would say, I'm very fortunate to have met these 2 guys.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the junk removal space. My company was called the Junk Luggers, and we built it from my mom's SUV to 350 locations across America.
What?
Through franchising.
Wow.
And I sold it, and I was really bored, and I got connected to these 2 guys through SMB franchising. And I remember Kyle got on the phone with Chad, and they started telling me about the business, and I am writing as fast as I can, like page after page after page, and he is just spewing passion about this industry, and I'm like, holy shit, there is something really cool here. And so, I've joined them as their third partner in crime here. I'm going to be the CEO of their new franchising business, but really their partner to help them and all of us to be successful and to take Epic to the next level. And I just love hearing Chad and Kyle talk about, this is not just a poop pumping business, but all the different ways that you're helping America, you're helping the industry, you're helping infrastructure and cleanliness, and I'm just so enamored by an industry I didn't necessarily think I would be, and I'm really passionate about, I think, what we're going to be able to do with this brand and to help build this all across the U.S.
Yeah. Well, you've been in this industry for 20 years. You just didn't know it at the time. The junk haul. But to go on that question that Chad asked, you want to reiterate the question? Just because that was a good question. About the solid waste to...
I think he answered it
cool.
by way of... there's commonality, the logistics side of it, which you can attest to. How many trucks was it on the road?
So I only have 1 truck on the road because my core focus was the install side of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's the big money side of it.
And what I again, and it was
see the gold chain.
Yeah, I know.
We're not gold chain status yet. We're not there yet.
Hey man, this thing has swung over many septic tanks.
We got the nickel chain. We got the nickel chain right now.
That's on Instagram.
Yeah,
green on your neck chain.
The pumping, because I was trying to grow it at the rate I was doing, and everything cost money too, right? And it was also because I also had so many corporations I was running at the same time. I was having to wind down one of them while I was building this one up, and there was some strategy involved, right? I was legally binded to certain contracts that I had to fulfill, or else you get sued, right? So I had to fulfill my obligations, get those jobs done, and at the same time building this one up. So, at my 4th year of doing it, but I'm creating the teams, I'm creating the systems and processes. I want to learn more that I can feed into my company, so now I can actually start scaling, because I want more trucks, I want more install crews, and I want to expand. And I was actually supposed to be in Texas in January. I was supposed to cross the border with an RV, 5th wheel, and go explore Texas, because I want to move. Because I'm tired of the cold back home, and I'm tired of the taxes, man. We get hammered back there, and I heard Texas got 0% corporate tax, something crazy like that. I'm like,
state income tax,
whatever. Okay, I like that. So anyways, and seeing that, I was literally supposed to be down in Texas exploring as we speak, and I've just heard there's just so much work down there, and just the mindset of how people are operating, that we're not looking at each other's competition. People kind of help one another out, right? And it's just, I like that different mindset. I've been talking about this in the last couple of shows I've been filming with people, is the mindset back home. People take you at the knees, man, right? They're jealous. It's not good. And there's only a few people that I'm aligned with over there that I don't look at any of them as competition. How can we do better? So those are the people I want to be around, the winners and the ones that want to take it to the next level, the guys that are got their egos in the way or their pride's hurt. I don't have time for that nonsense. Like, either let's get on board and let's make something really amazing here, because it's an amazing industry, or just get in my way. I don't. Go do your thing, and I'm going to go do mine. But I don't want to associate with nobody that doesn't want to do this job professionally.
Yeah, well, I think that mindset, just for me, like, we've met so many amazing, one of our competitors, for example, in Texas, there's so many well-run businesses in Texas, but not everybody shares that mindset of abundance, right? So when you have a mindset of scarcity and you have your spot on the map, and you're like, this is mine, don't come in.
Yep.
I don't see that. There's so much opportunity out there. There's not enough septic companies out there that can take care of all the customers.
Exactly.
Just because I come from the roofing world, there's no licensing requirement. Believe it or not, there's no licensing requirement in Texas, which means that you can literally ChatGPT a logo, put a hat on. You don't even need a general liability policy. You can go out and start a roofing company.
Don't share the business plan with them.
I know, but that market's super saturated.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody wants to cut you out your knees, and it's the race to the bottom pricing, stuff like that. But that doesn't always work out in the septic industry at all. But there's a mindset of abundance, and even if there's so many new entrants into the roofing space, for example, say 1,000 new roofers come into our market, there still won't be enough roofers. Right. And the good ones always rise to the top.
Yep.
If you take care of the customer, you do what's right, and you do honest business, the cream always rises to the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I always tell my clients too, like, I guarantee them I'm not going to be your cheapest quote. I guarantee you that.
Yep.
And there's a reason for that.
Because I'll be your best service.
Be your best service, and the team, and just the customer service that you're going to get. Like, I challenge you to find anyone else around that's going to treat you as good as we're going to treat you. And
let me ask you a question. Well, let me ask you a question, Shaun. So you've been in the septic industry for 4 years now,
Yep.
right? 4 years. What would you say when you talk about scaling, right? Because obviously we have really, really ambitious growth goals. You talked about talent and human capital. Outside of that, or even with that, like, what would you say is something like game recognizes game, right? You're in the industry as we are. When in your opinion, and I think it's agnostic whether it's Canada or United States, the business model is still fairly similar. What is the biggest hindrance to scalability and growth in your opinion?
In scalability and growth, I would say it's having proper structuring to do so, and then finding the right staff. So, like, finding competent drivers that are going to take care of your $500,000 truck or however it cost you, and incentivizing them, making them feel heard, having a voice, educating them on how to troubleshoot systems, and like putting that energy back into your team to try to teach them the way you're going to do it. That's the goal. And then paying people what they're worth.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, like, you want that guy to drive that truck 12, 14 hours a day with a helper, you better pay those guys well. And they don't know shit, okay? And don't, like, so I cannot stand cheap people. That shit drives me nuts, man. I pay my guys really well. And there's a reason for that, because I want them to know I appreciate what they're doing.
Yep.
I used to get in an argument. I won't mention this person's name, but like,
you can mention it.
No.
It'd be like I used to get anxiety when an employee would ask for like a raise.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go to somebody else now. I'll just buy them, and then they'd be like, okay, well, we're only gonna give them 50 cents, and I'm like, those words will never leave my mouth. Cents will never leave my mouth. Like that I will never say cents. It's dollars, right? And if I appreciate that guy, I know that guy's hustling for me, or girl, wherever that may be, I'm going to take care of that person, because I put a lot of energy into them too. I don't want them going somewhere else over whatever it is, you know?
I think everything I'm hearing out of your mouth is good leadership. There's if you have a good leader in an organization, it can take it a long way. It sounds like you share a lot of the same qualities. Like my time in the Marine Corps, you got to take care of your lowest ranking Marine. You got to take care of your people. They'll take care of you. And one thing that I think you share the same value. Everything I heard, I'll never ask my driver, my technician, my pumper, the people actually doing it, to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
Yeah.
They have to feel that, and they have to see that too.
So to your point, we had a really big job for Starbucks. Okay. And
install, pump out, or
so we were pumping them out twice a week because the system was shot, and it's oh my god, it took like 9 months to get the permit and get this whole thing designed. Wow. It was a nightmare, and the system was only 5 years old and it already failed. Wow. So it was a confined space entry, and we were about 1.2 meters underneath the ground, and my guys were like really nervous about this. And I did a lot of confined space entry in the fire department, but I hadn't done one in a while. So I had to get everybody trained. I had to get all the safety stuff done, all the equipment. Everybody had to know their role and position. And then we had to get in at 9 o'clock at night, shut the place down, and it had to be open by 5 a.m. So the gun was to our head to get in there and do everything, but they didn't want to go in the tank. So I'm like, I'm going in the tank. So I fucking went in that tank. And then when they saw me come in, one of my other helpers, he came in and helped me. And I said, look, man, it's not that scary. Right? We got everything. I walked them through everything. We got the air coming in. We're air monitoring every so many minutes.
Were you respiration and all?
We sucked it all out. We had the lids opened up.
Okay.
We were flowing air in there. We had the air monitoring system set up.
For the toxic gas prevention.
Yeah, we had masks on,
So
right?
you did,
but I wasn't on like an SCBA or nothing like that. And and I was in there for, oh my God, like 4 hours on my hands and knees, like saw cutting and drilling and cleaning and stuff. But it occurred to me at that point in time that I was doing something that not too many people are willing to do right now, is sit on your hands and knees in a shit tank for 4 hours.
It's like Shawshank Redemption. You
That's
were just
it.
escaping.
That was what it is, man. And but I remember going in there and I was starting to feel claustrophobic, and my buckle got caught on one of the risers, and I'm stuck in this weird position. I'm like, dude, just calm down, and I just slid in. I just went in, but again, it was to your point, it was showing that leadership and that I'm willing to do this work. So I went in there and did it. So now, when those jobs come up again, everybody feels more comfortable, and they know, hey man, the owner got in himself and did that shit.
One of the common threads for your show, based on my understanding, is that you have these moments of vulnerability that you unpack with people. And I know Kyle, with his Marine background, we've had this discussion on our team. Like in the Marines, no one is left behind.
Yeah.
And that like mentality, when you bring it into the corporate world, we've had team members who it's like, well, they're underperforming, they're under-delivering. Do we just carry them on our back because no person should be left behind? Or do we bring this person, or does this person leave the team? And I don't know if you want to talk to this situation, but the mentality is slightly different than what we anticipated, because you think no man left behind. But I guess what's been our...
Well, for me, like, if you come in our organization, I'm going to give you everything I have from day one. But unlike the Marine Corps, this is a shift that I had to make as a man and as a professional. Same, much like you from the firefighting department, right?
Yeah.
If somebody was underperforming, what happened? You took them around back and you gave them a talking to,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're a part of my team. If you're not performing on my team, we're going to run in that fire. I can't depend on you to save my life in a bad situation. You're not coming that day, buddy.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, it's hard to cultivate that in business, in the civilian world. So that's something I had to learn the hard way. The way I kind of came to terms with it is like, hey man, I'm going to show you that I'm going to give you everything I have from day one, but you got to meet me halfway. And you have to have some form of accountability. People who do this job are cut from a different cloth, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
I think you can agree with that. From what I've seen, they appreciate you going out in the field with them every now and again, right? Showing that you're not afraid to get dirty. Just like Josh when he came to Austin. You're literally touching poop. Yeah, so does my driver. And you have to show them that you're willing to do the same thing, just like you crawling in the tank. But even then, right? This is a really great transition to like vulnerability, right? So like when we first started, it's really hard to find good talent in this industry. And
because we didn't know what good looked like even.
Yeah, and whether it's poaching from another company, right, or trying to develop somebody that has like a CDL license, right? Say, let me just show you how to drive the same truck, but get out of the truck and put a hose in the ground, right? In Canada, do you guys find the same problems with like a knowledge gap with septic, like finding really competent technicians, both on the pumping side and on the install side and on the maintenance side? Because I feel like as an industry as a whole, we really need to focus on that, is raising the bar of what right looks like, and then educating and continuing to educate people in this industry and people coming out of the industry. But do you guys see that same problem in Canada?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there anything like any like we have an idea of what we're trying to do, what's right to change that, but like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Do you poach your talent, or how did you?
No, I don't poach talent. I don't like doing it because I don't like it when it's done to me.
Yeah.
If someone legitimately left to come to me on their own merit, and it wasn't me influencing them to come over. That's
well. Let me rephrase. Like, we've had people leave other organizations that interview with us.
Yep.
We hired them.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
It's
wrong
not
with
like
that.
I'm actively going. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't go trying to pick off, like, just because I've had it done to me and it sucks, right? And then but to that point, we're struggling with the same thing, because most guys that, if you're going to hire a driver that has an AZ or a DZ license, right? They're driving dump trucks. They don't barely get out of that truck. They put their slippers on. They're shifting.
got their
gears.
headset on, talking to
That's it, man.
Talking to their
and so
girlfriend.
now I got to tell them they got to actually get it and work on top of that.
Yep.
So now it comes down
The money.
the narrow to get them to motivate them to do that and incentivize. So I incentivize my driver as well, for like a legitimate upsell when they come across a situation on site, right? And then that he knows he's making more money, the company's making more money, and we're also providing a better service to the client now. We're not just doing one thing. Like, we're legitimately scanning around and say, hey man, I recommend that you need
Absolutely.
this, or no, you actually need this.
Yeah. Hey, your tank's cracked and probably need to get it replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and again, a lot of the people that I've hired know nothing. They might be excavator guys, site service work, but they don't know septic. It's just like it's like a hidden gem. So I take that time to educate them, and then I also send my key foreman to go get their licenses, specifically to go take the on-site sewage course and get trained, right?
How long is that course?
So that course is 5 8-hour days, and then say you need another, I don't know, 2 to 3 4 weeks of study time, and then you go write a 3-hour exam.
I still don't think that's enough time to get it down. And then they get thrown into the wild, and now it's
That's not enough time. No, you're right. It's not enough time, but but to get the license, that's all that's required. But they don't teach you how to actually do the job now.
So you're hitting the nail on the head, right? So in Texas, to get your basic maintenance provider, you go to a 3-day course taught by a person who's at the show, and after the 3 days, you take your little written test, and guess what? Good luck.
Yeah.
There's no continuing education in the septic space. To get your installer license, same thing. You take a 2-day course, study, go take your test. Congratulations, you're a licensed installer. Figure it out. Same thing with level 2, maintenance provider. So there needs to bridge. No, I guess the point of the conversation I'm trying to make is, where do we bridge the gaps for when they get certified? Because when you throw them out to the wild, they learn one way from one guy. Okay, you take one problem, right? Say there's one problem that needs to be fixed. You ask 5 different people, you're going to get 5 different answers.
Yep.
Right? So now, like, what right looks like, nobody really knows. And I think for us, especially here in Texas, maybe industry-wide, it's a problem. You know, we have these doctrines like TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. They write doctrine on what right looks like. NAWRA, right? National On-Site Wastewater Association, writes doctrine nationally. Nobody really follows that, and there's really no enforcement either. So everybody, it's like still the Wild West. This industry is very much so still the Wild West. It is. I mean, would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that.
So it's not like plumbing, which is super regulated,
Yep.
right? You have to have 10,000 hours of a journeyman, or electrician, 10,000 hours. Here, you literally take a 2-day course. So do you think there should be a higher barrier to entry to get into this industry?
Absolutely, and I one of my goals is that I want to actually, like, I got a lot of political connections back home, and I want to speak with the government about setting up schools that are backed by the government, regulated by the government, and you got to have that stamp if that's how this is done.
Well, yeah, we're talking about the same stuff. So you want to talk about that, the curriculum assessment, or?
I'm curious to ask you a question as well about the differences internationally, because we know the American side and the Texas side. What are the differences? What do Canadians think of the crazy Americans?
So it's really it's really interesting what's going on.
That's a loaded question. Where do I start? We got another episode.
Yeah, I'll be really honest. What's going on right now? Like, there's a lot of bullshit propaganda going on right now, where it's portraying that Americans hate Canadians right now. That if you're going to go over there, you're going to get arrested. The ICE team's coming to get you. It's bullshit. And I got so many friends who are down in the States, and like that's junk.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've met some of the nicest people in my life on this side of the border, so I don't buy all that garbage. It's like it's that propaganda, because they're scared of the amount of people are actually leaving Canada because of what's going on there. It's bad right now. It's bad. So to go back to what your question again was about the differences.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's industry differences, but then I started going into the cultural
Right.
differences.
So Ontario is almost someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like the most regulated place on earth. Like the regulations, like they got you choked out right up here. So in Canada, the whole septic world is looking at what Ontario's doing. We're setting the pace.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, we have some amazing manufacturers down there, like Waterloo Biofilter, who we call them tertiary systems. I don't know what you guys call your advanced treatment units.
Aerobic systems.
Yeah, so there's different companies that we use in Canada, but there's only so many products that are allowed to actually be installed in Canada.
You guys regulate manufacturers?
Yeah, there's some strict
It's
regulations.
totally different than what's here.
Yeah, man.
It's free enterprise here.
No, it's
good, bad,
not
and different.
like that because we have the winter to contend with.
Do you guys still have to abide by NS40 standards? Or is that like that's the testing standard for septic tanks and stuff? I don't know. It might
They
be
have it different in Canada.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably way different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our building code's pretty thick, and like getting permits down there that's another thing I want to change in their industry. And someone's systems failed, and I got to get them a permit to replace that bed. It should not take me 45 to 60 days to get that permit in my hand, because now that client's having to incur the cost of weekly pumping until I get that permit.
What do you think? Why do you think it takes so long? I'm curious. I have a theory.
I think a few reasons is they're legitimately backlogged.
Yep.
Believe it or not, we saw people on fucking COVID hours sitting home on their ass watching Netflix
Really?
and doing permits when they feel like it.
Yeah.
And that's my honest opinion of what I think's going on.
Yeah.
And then there's municipalities out there that are like, I'm not knocking them when I say this, but they're like super strict, like to the next extreme, where it's like, if we're following the code, we're doing best business practices and following inspections. Like, why are you guys making it so damn difficult to do this work?
I agree.
What was your theory, Kyle?
I didn't want to say it. He said it, but I
Oh.
agree. I think they're stretched really thin.
Yep.
And there's one or two people that are in charge of permits for the whole city. So a city like Austin, where there's 2-3 million people, you have a group of 3 to 5 people that are getting all these inquiries, and they're just overloaded.
They're overloaded.
But I feel like there is a way forward through technology and the age that we live in to automate those types of things. But the government has to play ball, and the local municipalities have to play ball with allowing that innovation to happen. But it doesn't happen. And the septic industry, like, I don't know how it is in Ontario, but you have the Texas standards, but then the individual counties have their own standards. So you have to navigate the politics and the standards of, say, like I live in Travis County, right? Travis County is one of the most strict. Then you go to Comal County, it's the Wild West. It's totally different. But I thought you guys are all under TCQ, so it's like really confusing sometimes.
Yeah, we're under the Ontario Building Code, and there's some municipalities, like their permits might be a little bit there's a little bit of difference, but for the most part, it's but because we have some municipalities only do so many inspections, like they're like 2 or 3, and others do like 5. So there's like base cut inspection, right? So you dig it out, scarified the ground, inspector comes, okay, it's been scarified. Now bring the sand in, build the system, drop the tank, come back for another inspection, inspect that again, okay? Backfill, make sure the grading's done. That's another inspection. Make sure your higher level alarm, the pumps are on if it's got a pump on it.
A lot of inspection.
And then the last inspection to close the permit is when the grass is actually growing.
Really?
Yeah, you have to. The grass has to be germinating before to close the permit.
Wait, so do you wait to get paid
No,
until the grass grows?
That's right, my contract.
Okay, good.
No.
I ain't waiting for grass.
Not waiting for grass.
No, not waiting for grass. And so,
What is the install season out there, I guess? Because you have snow flying, and so how many
tough.
months of, yeah.
Does the snow affect pumping too?
Pumping, I mean,
it not me. A lot of guys shut down.
do you have any frostbite to accumulate?
I got frozen shitsicles hanging in my back of a brand new septic truck right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's tough, man. When the valves
Frozen
are
shitsicles.
when they're not opening and closing properly, or when you're sucking at a tank and the client's not there and they haven't left the hose bibs turned off, so we don't have water.
Yeah.
And if you got a big thick crust layer, and now that crust is going through the hose and it's freezing in there,
Yeah.
and you just maybe the guy sucked in too much water at once, and then you have more water to flush that out.
Yeah.
Oh dear. going around with like a sledgehammer smashing.
Is that what it is? You have to sledge
Do
it
you
out.
have heated intake? The heated.
The collars, but they only do so much.
Yeah, that's true.
They only do so
You got a
much.
blowtorch? He's like, yeah, I actually have a blowtorch.
Yeah, we've had some wild struggles, and then the worst part is you get an emergency call and the tank's like 3 feet down
In the snow.
Well, in the snow, but now we get the frost to deal with.
Oh, you guys are
Shipping guns or excavators are coming out.
Oh, dang.
And you got to charge for that.
You got to charge for that.
You must charge a pretty penny when it comes to those situations.
We
snow-
do, and
the
I
snow
feel
tax.
and I feel bad about that. But you know what? But then where I don't feel bad about it is when I'm like, listen, man, let me sell you some risers here, so we never have to do
Yeah, so
this
we
again.
don't do this,
And the
yeah.
guy's like, no, man, just backfill it.
No.
I'm like, what?
Is there a code that you have to have risers in Canada?
It
'Cause it is in Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is code, but people don't have money and they don't care. And what am I going to do? I'm not going to rat the guy and call the bylaw department so the guy's not putting risers on, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, cool, man. But if this does this again, this couple $1,000 extra bill
Yeah.
that you just had to pay for me to do this.
Technically, in Texas, they require per the code, if you see something that's out of code, you have to report it.
Yeah,
I know that's a gray area.
I
but
know, and we had this conversation at a conference about that,
Yeah.
right?
But
And-
narking? Is that what
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the
Yeah.
septic snitch.
No,
You know?
that's it. So I try to really educate the client as best as possible and
Yeah.
making wise decisions. Now, if I come across a system that's catastrophic, like bleed out all over the place, buddy, we got to fix this. And then
Yeah.
I offer my service, I follow up, and then if I can tell they're not going to do it, I won't say, but
Yeah.
I make things happen
Yeah.
because I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
Right now we're affecting the groundwater,
Yeah.
but
It's
if
an
you don't,
environmental hazard at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, for real.
so yeah, it's a gray area, right? It's crazy.
It is.
And again, it's about changing stuff. Like this is another conversation we had about having documentation of film, like photographing every tank, every bed, uploading it, and even getting that into the municipality so they have a record of what that looks like. You can see when last time it was pumped, and so there's
Even photographs are getting up in there?
no,
No,
that's
he-
what
that's
I
what
want
he wants to
That's
do.
what I
Oh,
want
that's
to
what
do.
you're proposing.
That's what I want to
Do
do.
you see that as? Do you think?
And using
No, so municipalities, right? Like, could you see that as something that could slow the process down? Because municipality can really slow it down. It's like they could be like, oh, well, thanks for sending me these photos, but hey, you didn't do this right. Oh, hey, there's actual violation here. You know,
so this is
I don't know. My mind just went somewhere else, but
Yeah,
I like the idea.
Well, let me bring your mind back
Yeah,
to the
let's bring it back.
conversation about what I proposed. I'm like, guys, we're living in 2026.
Yeah.
We're on the leading edge of AI technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Let the AI do it.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody behind the desk. Or let the thing analyze.
But the
that.
problem with AI in the septic business, there's not a single source of truth. There's so much artificial intelligence models, as they said now, and I'm not. Don't quote me on this. Where's the camera?
Yeah.
I'm not AI, but
You're talking to the AI.
so
right
I'm
now.
talking to AI. AI is open source, so it scrapes the internet.
Yeah.
There's so much misinformation when it comes to septic on the internet. What do you believe?
But can you not design specific?
You can design,
AI?
but it has to come from a single source built on a closed server.
Yep.
It cannot read the internet.
No.
You have to insert your information
Yep.
in there. So if Ontario wants to upload their standards in their AI model, that's their standards.
Yep.
Okay, great. But it's not. It cannot be an open source model.
Exactly.
It
I
can't be
agree
open
with
source.
that statement. It has to be proper.
It has to.
Yeah, no, it has to be proper. And these are like the things that I am trying to get done.
I like the idea. It keeps everybody accountable. Full transparency.
Full transparency.
That means we're all on the same playing ground. Now it's like, hey, you run a business. We're all playing on the same ground. Now it's survival of the fittest. Who can take care of the customer the best? Who can provide the better service? And who can just run a business better?
Yep.
You know. And there's not all this like gray area. You know what I'm talking about. But I know I've been doing a lot of talking.
No, I love it.
I would love to shift gears and just hear your
Yeah.
thoughts. We are trying to be the first company to franchise septic company across the U.S., maybe Canada, maybe beyond. Would love to hear what you think about that.
So you're talking my language. I've had the exact same conversations with like my individuals on the other side of the board. We're talking about that and what does that look like, and it's just something that can be done, right? And my thoughts of it was having a franchise model where we're aligning with certain manufacturers. Here's all the equipment that you need. Here's the SOPs and SOGs on how to do everything. Here's the leads. Here's how to set up your account. Everything. It's
a business in a box.
Thank you. Business in a box. There it is. And then kind of divide out territories to people or whatever. And so I think it can be done. It's got to be done properly. I'm convinced, man. Anything can be done in this world.
Look, you're a testament to that.
I just did this. I just pulled this out of my ass two months ago, and it's happening. So anything can be done as long as you put your mind to it and you surround yourself with the right people to do it.
Yeah, and I think what the other thing we're hearing is we want to elevate the standards for the employees, and a business is made and built and run by good people.
Yeah.
And so I think we understand the value of strong leadership, of creating processes, strong training, improving training and certifications. We might have our own certifications within Epic that will raise the standards for the entire industry. And then I think the missing pieces are it's such a fragmented mom and pop business.
Yes.
Not everybody is you or these guys who are thinking big picture, thinking about scaling it. So we really just want to help people when it comes to budgeting, financing, marketing, operational support, pricing, licensing, and to build the camaraderie of one national system, but allowing people to have run their own business by themselves, for themselves, but not by themselves. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
No, it's
just
amazing.
curious what you think about that.
No, I like the business model, and I think it's going to be very successful. And I think you and I were talking about this, about like with AI that's going to be taking away so many jobs in certain sectors that there's going to be people they're going to need to go somewhere to get work, and this is a great industry to get into.
Yeah. Josh, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're sharing articles all the time about, I read something last week on X saying that 50% of entry white collar jobs will be eliminated potentially in the next 12 months. So it's not like, and whether that's 12 months or 48 months or whatever, it seems like something big is coming and happening really fast. And so, what I saw from my previous experience running the junk luggers, and it really provides lots of jobs for America. We had over 1,000 employees in the company.
Wow.
But it also creates, people take on a business or a job because one of the best things about it is they're proud of what they're doing. They're making a difference. I remember getting on the truck and being like, I just did something today. I just helped somebody.
You're moving atoms. You're moving atoms.
I'm moving atoms, yeah.
And not code, you're moving atoms.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I think, it's part of the American dream. I'm sure the Canadian dream also. People want to build something and be a part of society and create jobs for other people and help people. And that part will not be eliminated by AI. And we want to build that opportunity in a brand that's high quality and people are really proud of.
Yeah.
So that's what we're thinking.
No, you're going to do well. You guys are going to do. I can tell.
It's going to be a lot of challenges
that.
along the way.
Yeah.
You talked about that the other day, but we're ready for it.
Because there's so many intricacies in the septic industry. Because again, if you think about the septic industry, what it is, it's water, it's wastewater, it's public health. So politics get involved at the state and local level, across the government, federal. You're going to have to navigate through those. So there's going to be a lot of red tape and hoops that we'll probably have to jump through. But there's no problem that we can't solve, especially in this generation, to your point. But we're super excited about this brand. We're super excited about where we're heading. And to Josh's point, we just want to provide new opportunities for people looking to go. If they're in a business right now and they want to look into the service industry, we want septic to be considered.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case because septic as it sits right now isn't always the most attractive choice. And we're just trying to make shit sexy.
Oh yeah, make it sexy.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Make septic epic is what we say.
There we go.
Correction. Make septic epic. We changed it.
I love it.
You have anything, Chad?
I just wanted to thank you for having us on, and we appreciate everything that you're doing for the industry. It's amazing to see how all this manifested so quickly, and I know your journey has been one with highs and the lows, and to see you thriving out here is really exciting for us. We're really grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, guys, it's been amazing, and thank you for your time. And I'm looking. Again, I don't want this just to end here. Right? I really want to build friendships with people long term.
When you cross the border to Texas, we have some space for you.
No, I'm telling you,
We'd even be curious to see what it looks like to bring Epic to Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
very much
like I
so.
said, I've been having some wild conversations on that side.
We should have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We should.
absolutely, because I know what I'm doing, and I know a lot of people over there, and I know I can see what has to be done. I just need the help. I can't do it by myself.
Right.
Right? I can't do it by myself.
You need a team.
Team.
There you go.
Yeah. Sick, guys. So thank you very much
Yeah,
for your
thank
time.
You.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure.
Okay, brother.
Yeah.
Sean,
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome.
That was awesome.